Today, we're playing Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, for the PlayStation 1. But we're adding a huge challenge to the playthrough, Retro Achievements. With these achievements, we'll have to take on 50 nostalgic stages set in the Toy Story universe, with iconic characters setting us on tasks to collect an insane amount of coins, objects, and Pizza Planet tokens. Crazy ass boss fights which become Dark Souls level with the added challenges from this achievement set, that include fighting them without taking any damage, or without being able to use certain attacks, making them hell to defeat. With 90 achievements to unlock to earn the mastery for the game, it's time to dive in. Now, I only played this game on a PS1 demo disc as a kid, so apart from the first level, everything is going to be brand new for me. But my best friend Matt, who is joining us for today's mastery, did own this game as a kid, but there will be some new stuff for him to discover as well. Starting the adventure, the gang of toys see Woody being kidnapped during a yard sale. Buzz jumps into action and chases the car down, failing and falling off the car, and is left with one clue, a chicken feather. Our journey begins in Andy's house. Straight away, all the memories came flooding back, hearing the music, seeing Buzz Lightyear, and hearing his voice clips.
I am Buzz Lightyear. I come in peace.
The robot enemies and the environment was so familiar, even after all these years. In this game, we play as Buzz Lightyear. As Buzz, we can fire a laser, which can also be charged. We can jump, double jump, spin, which can be held for a super spin. We can go first person to make targeting with the laser easier, and Buzz can grab ledges. Well, when he can be bothered to. Certain objects can be pushed, poles can be climbed and swung on, zip lines can be ridden, and we have a stomp move, which will be useful later on. Already, we get given a challenge achievement to complete, Andy's House Challenge 3. Find the sheep at the wall shelves in Andy's house without using the armchair. Normally, we would just stomp on the armchair and go flying up to get the sheep, but getting up there without the armchair is a different story. For absolutely ages, me and Matt checked the living room for any clue of a way up. As a kid, when I played the demo, I would spend hours exploring this level, and one thing I would do is jump on the banister of the stairs. Hey, when you play the same demo 50 times over, you start messing around. This took us up to where we could see a shelf below us. Falling onto it, this seemed like the best way to get over to the sheep. The only problem was needing a perfect double jump. We didn't realise that our first 30 minutes in this game would start like this, taking turns to run all the way back up the stairs, balance on the banister, and timing the double jump, getting closer and closer with every attempt. After 30 minutes of attempts, I had fully passed the controller over to Matt, and with a precise double jump, he made it up top to pop our first achievement. 1 down, 89 to go. I took back the controller, collected the extra life, and defeated some enemies to grab some coins. Every level has a certain amount of coins that we need for a Pizza Planet token. There are always 5 Pizza Planet tokens to collect in every level from different characters. Across on the other shelf is an ear, which belongs to Mr. Potato Head. And we head into the basement for another challenge achievement. This one's a lot easier, thankfully. Again, using the banister, I land a jump and use the height to grab the next set of sheep, without using the zip line, to unlock the achievement Andy's House Challenge 2. Andy's parents need to sort out their shit. Whole basement is flooded with toxic waste that damages us. Sometimes in these achievement sets are missable achievements. These require us to unlock a certain thing first, otherwise we would be locked out of getting it during this playthrough and we would be forced to do a second whole playthrough of the game. This one is simple. We just need to grab the token in the basement of Andy's house before obtaining the cosmic shield from Mr. Potato Head. By running over the toxic waste, pushing boxes, and climbing and jumping from the lights, we unlock the achievement. Now we can grab the cosmic shield from Mr. Potato Head with no worries for the achievement Andy's House Upgrade. We can safely cross the waste with the shield to grab some of the extra coins. Heading back upstairs, we explore the kitchen. We speak to Bo Peep, who has lost 5 lots of her sheep. We get up on the kitchen shelves, use the scales to bounce over, and grab the 3rd sheep. We then end up in the garage. There's saws to avoid, brushes to climb, and drills to dodge. On top of the car, we find the super laser, a rapid laser that will destroy regular enemies instantly, and it lasts until the gauge is empty. We grab the final extra life of this level to pop the achievement Andy's House Extra Life. We swing over the poles to grab the 4th sheep, and then challenge RC to a race around the garage. I got RC to bump into Buzz to slow him down, raced 3 laps, and won the race to get another token. We even got top 100 on the leaderboards for this race. Hell yeah. Leaving the garage, it's time to check out the attic, where we find the last lot of sheep and get a total of 89 coins, with the last coin of this level being in the basement, which pops the achievement Andy's House coin. Before heading back to the attic for a boss fight, we pay a visit to Ham. By having at least least 50 coins, he rewards us with a token. And we also drop the sheep off with Bo Peep for another one. Now, it's time for the first boss fight of the playthrough, the tin robot. We have to run around to avoid him slamming into us, and as it powers down, we can shoot it. A few overpowered shots does the job and drops the final piece of planet token of this level to unlock the achievement Andy's house. But the boss fight isn't over yet. Now, it's time to take on our first crazy boss achievement. We have to defeat the tin robot using only the uncharged laser without missing a single shot and without taking damage. This is where the challenge of this game really spiked. Every boss in this game is tied to an achievement similar to this. It was awful. Not only is the boss fight incredibly long with only using single shots, but every time I missed, a little part of me died inside. I used to play Halo all day, every day. I know I can hit headshots for days. So tell me why I'm struggling to hit a robot the size of my ass. Even worse, every time I would miss a shot, I just glanced over at Matt, who was just shaking his head at me. With this being my first ever playthrough of the game, we both agreed that I had to be the one to take on the first boss. I climbed into the attic, had the robot chase me, and either took damage or missed a friggin' shot. For what felt like forever, I fought this boss, until, finally, I hit every single shot needed to pop the achievement, Andy's house boss. That was just the first boss of the game. Yep, this is gonna get crazy. It's time for stage 2, Andy's neighborhood. We see the toys getting geared up and ready to go save Woody. I think Bo Peep just gave Buzz a Woody with that kiss. Off into the neighborhood the gang goes, and it's time for Matt's first level. It's so weird for me to see a level different from Andy's house. Throughout this stage, there are 5 soldiers to find, and Matt finds the first one by stomping these molehills. We have familiar enemies from the first stage, but also new enemies like this Zurg car, which gets taken out by the super spin. We stumble onto RC with another racetrack setup, and a challenge achievement to take on, which also happens to be a missable achievement. Win the race in Andy's neighborhood before obtaining the rocket boots. The rocket boots can still be seen in the box, as they will be unlocked in a later stage. Matt starts the race with the strategy in mind to have RC bump into him, to slow him down. The only problem is the amount of friggin' enemies on the track, which can get in the way. RC also has a bit more room on this track, meaning he can just race by sometimes. Enemies respawn in this game, so taking them out only delays them returning back to the track. Matt wins the race and grabs the achievement. He finds a bunch of coins and heads to a swimming pool area, and here is another achievement. Collect the token above the swimming pool in Andy's neighborhood without inflating the rubber duck. By getting some height, we tested some jumps towards the token and figured out the closest spot. By letting go and forcing Buzz away, Matt gets the token and unlocks the achievement. Now we can safely blow up the ducks to grab the coins in the water. In the next part of the neighborhood is a broken down car. By stomping the switches, it lowers the car, allowing Matt to grab all of the items up top. He then springs over to grab another coin, pushes a plank of wood to swing down the washing line, collecting another soldier. Climbing the swing set leads to a giant tree, where we find Ham to grab another token. Heading up the tree, Matt finds coins, a soldier, and enemies to fight, but he also keeps falling all the way back down. Like I said before, Buzz only grabs shit when he feels like it, which makes it a pain to climb all the way back up. Close to the top, we end up grabbing the 95th coin for the achievement Andy's neighborhood coin. And now it's time for the next boss fight. It's a Zurg kite. The first time fighting the kite is easy, but Matt ends up taking damage, failing the challenge achievement for now. He charges up the laser, takes out the kite in 3 shots, and takes the Pizza Planet token. By climbing and falling a few more times, Matt dives off the tallest point of the tree to land in the swimming pool below, to grab the achievement Andy's Neighborhood Challenge 3. We then drop off the soldiers and end up getting 2 more achievements. Token 1 for collecting 10 Pizza Planet tokens, and Andy's Neighborhood, collecting all Pizza Planet tokens in the level. Heading back in, Matt climbs on top of the swing set to grab the only extra life and an achievement. He then climbs all the way back up the tree to fight the Zurg kite, this time without spinning or without taking any damage. Using the first person mode, he's able to lock onto the kite, take a shot, and just about dodge the kite as it's spinning towards him. Doing this 3 times gets us the achievement Andy's Neighborhood boss. Moving on, we have a boss fight against a bomber plane. I take the controller back for this one, and there's 3 achievements up for grabs. The bomber plane comes flying in, and I have no idea what to do as it shoots me with its minigun. I run around charging my laser to get some big hits on it, and without entering the aiming mode, I end up getting 2 achievements. Bombs Away Challenge 2 for defeating the bomber airplane without using aiming mode, and Bombs Away for defeating the bomber airplane. There's 1 more achievement to grab, but after every boss fight, we have an extra cutscene to watch. Buzz is seen running through Zurg's base. Spikes chase him and just miss him, impaling the door instead. Buzz jumps on some panels, but ends up falling into the abyss. He manages to just about activate his flight mode to soar up top, and then is encountered by Zurg. During the intense fight, Buzz gets killed killed. But it's all good. It's just Rex playing a Buzz Lightyear video game within the film itself. And Buzz Lightyear drops an iconic line that me and Matt now quote every single day.
I'm never gonna defeat Zurg!
Sure you will, Rex. In fact, you're a better Buzz than I am.
Let's head back into Bombs Away. This time, I need to defeat the bomber airplane using only the uncharged laser without jumping and without taking damage. Very quickly, I managed to find a good rhythm. I would wait for the plane to start circling me, zoom into aim mode, and if I got lucky with the timing, I hit it with a single shot. I had to repeat this over and over again, try my best not to take damage, and train my muscle memory to not jump. After an intense 5-minute fight and a few retries, the achievement was ours. The next stage was a long one, construction yard. The toys are sneaking around the streets, trying not to be seen. And as the toys start getting tired, Buzz starts a motivational speech. And god, did we need that motivation for this next level. Construction yard started like the last 2 levels. New enemies to fight like this UFO, coin collecting, and having to rescue little tykes scattered around. The bottom part of the map was very open, and in the middle is the construction site. In the center we see Slinky the dog, who gives us a time task of collecting 5 wrenches. However, by collecting them with 25 seconds or more left on the clock, we get the achievement Construction Yard Challenge 1. Climbing up the bulldozer, we grab the next little tyke and check out the workroom. In here is some toxic waste to avoid, and by jumping up, we rescue another lost tyke and come to a colour puzzle. This challenge is no problem, as we have to mix the correct colours together, with the minimum amount of mixing required. Doing this pops the achievement Construction Yard Challenge 3. Now, it's time for the bullshit of this level, climbing the construction site. There's traps, annoying jumps, stupidly placed enemies, annoying collectibles to find, and it just takes forever to make it all the way up top. And get used to climbing up this shit, because anytime you fall, or if we miss anything, we gotta climb all the way back up every single time. It took me forever to make it up top my first time, but I'm ready, as once we're at the top, we have a boss fight. Alright, how do we fight this guy? I hope you have the disc launcher. Where is it? It's all the way down at the bottom with Mr. Potato Head. At least I can grab the last little tyke needed for all 5. I grabbed the disc launcher from Mr. Potato Head to unlock the achievement Construction Yard Upgrade. I grabbed the token for the tykes and jumped back into the level. I picked up the discs, but now I really took my time climbing back up. And by not taking any damage, activating the shortcut, or using the bulldozer, I popped the achievement Construction Yard Challenge 2. And now we can finally fight the jackhammer. My only problem, I have no idea how these friggin' discs work. So I run away and try shooting him from a distance. He ends up hitting me and I fail the challenge, meaning I've got to climb all the way back up again, restarting the level. I get back up and realise the disc launcher makes him home in on him. I obliterate the jackhammer for the achievement Construction Yard boss. By this point, I'm so sick of this level, and it's only going to get worse. I spent about 20 minutes running around the level trying to collect 70 coins. I stopped by Ham to grab his token to unlock the Construction Yard achievement. Now with the challenge achievements done, we can use the shortcuts on the construction site to make climbing up a bit easier. Now on 69 coins, I desperately searched the level for another 20 minutes. But me and Matt could not find a single coin. Matt pointed out that I could have missed a couple of coins from enemies dropping them, meaning they've despawned. Even though I didn't want to, we had to restart the whole level again. But before I do that, I grabbed the extra 2 lives in the level to pop the achievement Construction Yard Extra Life. And I reset the level. During the hunt for the 70 coins, me and Matt discussed the possibility of these games ever getting a remaster collection, with games like Aladdin and Lion King already having one. I even sent Matt a new logo a couple of days before we started the achievement set of Disney and Pixar games, thinking, nah, there's no way that just as we start this game, that possibility could become a reality. Well, holy shit, we were right on the money, because a few days later, the Toy Story Retro Roundup was announced, and Matt was messaging me to check my phone, and we lost it. It even has Toy Story Racer that we finished a few months ago. We might actually have Jeff Keighley levels of announcement power, so we'll have to choose our next games wisely, which I did. I just started streaming Spyro 2, and just a few days later, Spyro 4 gets announced. So, if you guys have any games you want a remaster or a remake of, let us know, because apparently we have the power to make it happen. Back at the coin hunt, I took on the jackhammer, destroyed him, and he dropped a coin. But I missed it because of the token animation. There's no way. There has to be another coin somewhere on this damn level, and after another 30 minutes of searching and spending a total of 2 hours at this, this point. I noticed it. Just there, floating in the sky. And I launched towards it, finally grabbing the achievement, Construction Yard Coin. I forgot there's a whole ass game to play. It felt like Construction Yard was the only level. Next up is Matt's level, Alleys and Gullies. We see Woody getting introduced to Jesse, Bullseye, and the Prospector. Woody learns that he is actually a rarity toy and part of the Roundup group of toys. Alleys and Gullies is like the friggin' UK. It's always raining. There's new enemies, floods of water, and we have little duckies to rescue. While Matt was exploring the level, collecting ducks and coins, we came across an easy challenge achievement. Get the token from the marketplace in Alleys and Gullies without activating the balloon switch. Matt used this box to climb up on the table, swung on some poles, and bounced up onto the awning to get the height needed for the token and the achievement. Next, we have to play the game Frogger. No, really. For this challenge achievement, find the little duck on the other side of the pool without stepping on Slinky's island and without using the rocket boots. This needed something that we didn't have right now: patience. After flying through the levels, we kept rushing, trying to land on the boxes and the planks. After some time, Matt made it to the back for an extra life. One final jump would get him over to the little duck. But Buzz Lightyear decided to not grab the friggin' box. After a bunch of retries, I gave it a go and tried the right hand side. We figured out that once you step on the boxes, they start to slow down and the planks speed up. So now it's just a waiting game. And over time, the perfect sync happened for us to jump over and finally make it to the little duck to pop the achievement. On Slinky's island, we have to grab 5 bones within 16 seconds or more to pop the next achievement. We grab the token from Slinky and Ham, and for now, this level is done. Turns out we need to return later on once a certain upgrade has been unlocked. Time for a boss fight. It's slime time, baby. Buzz approaches the trash can and a slime monster appears. It bounces towards us and around the level. It took me some time to realize how to damage the monster. I just needed to absolutely spam the laser to make it smaller. This turns the fight into phases, with the monster getting bigger and bigger after each phase. I like this boss, as it gives me a chance to use my own IRL special ability, my trigger finger. And yes, my girlfriend is very happy. I defeated the slime for the first time for the achievement Slime Time. Before taking on the boss 2 more times, we get a cutscene. It's the iconic scene of the toys crossing the road under the traffic cones, causing actual deaths of people while they just waddle across. Back in the boss battle, we have this achievement: reflect the slime monster's projectiles 25 times in a row. At first, I found this super difficult, trying to run around and time the attacks to bounce back. Then Matt said, just stand still in front of it. Turns out, this makes the slime stop moving and he just throws shit at you, giving us enough time to lock in and reflect them back 25 times to pop the achievement. The final challenge against the slime was to defeat the slime monster without picking up the super laser and without taking damage. I failed a couple of times while trying to work out the best way to shoot the slime. I found it easier to run towards him while he jumps, turn around and spam my trigger finger. The final phase tired me out, but the slime was defeated and we got the achievement. Up next is an actual location from the film, Al's Toy Barn. The toys are trying to get inside to find Al. They watch someone walk through the automatic doors, and working together, they managed to get inside. Straight away, I took on a challenge achievement, and this was also a missable. Find the chick on the gun machine in Al's Toy Barn before obtaining the rocket boots. I ended up jumping over to the counter, which surprised Matt, as he had no idea that was even possible. Being able to do this and activating the hay bale ride, I can jump up, grab the zip line, and bounce over to grab the chick for the achievement. Exploring the stage, jumping on trampolines, and taking on enemies led me to finding Mr. Potato Head's missing arm, which I can now exchange for a brand new upgrade and an achievement: the rocket boots. Alright, let's try these. Whoa! I didn't expect them to just go right away. I thought we'd have to activate them first. Talking to this little chicken at the back of the room gives us a challenge. We have to collect the chick from the egg by taking the skateboard to the trampoline, making our way over, and by swinging and riding the zip line. But if we do all of this within 33 seconds or more, we unlock the achievement Al's Toy Barn Challenge 2. While exploring, I came across another locked upgrade, meaning this is a level that we need to come back to later on in order to 100%. But before we leave, let's take on the boss. It's a T-Rex. We just need to defeat it while avoiding the waste. I missed the challenge achievement as it didn't have enough discs for the launcher. So for now, I just defeat it, get the Pizza Planet token, grab Ham's token, and move on to Al's Spaceland. We see Buzz run into another Buzz, and they instantly start fighting. The Buzz we are playing as gets boxed up while the other Buzz Lightyear goes off with the toys without them realizing. So now Al has a toy barn and a Spaceland. Man is making absolute bank. It's a Spaceland, so of course our collectible here is 5 of the aliens. Our token is grabbed by We rescue the first alien in a ball pit, and then a new enemy appears, a Zurg soldier. We can defeat it by using the super spin. By moving the boxes and climbing on the poles, Matt finds another alien and the extra life for the achievement, and drops into a boss fight. This boss fight is against Buzz Lightyear in a buggy. To be fair, Matt almost does this first time without taking any damage, but right at the end of the fight, the other Buzz was able to just about blast him. So we'll tackle this again later on. Now we have another challenge achievement. We have to grab the alien on these boxes without passing through the area or pushing the box. This was a laugh. After 5 minutes of looking around, we notice there's just a freaking gap on the box that you can jump up and get the alien to pop the achievement Al's Spaceland Challenge 3. Now, that challenge was easy, but this next one was chaotic. By getting up top and starting at the cosmic shield, Matt must make it past the laser section without taking any damage. How many lasers do they want to shoot? Holy shit, not even the shield can help here. I watched as Matt gave this a few attempts. He somehow made it up top with the lasers just missing him. He had to make some crazy jumps, otherwise if he landed on the ground, the challenge would be over, as you get instantly shot. With one final jump, the achievement was ours. We grab the token from Ham and head up to the top of the zipline course. Here we have a challenge achievement to do, and just as we're about to start, Matt picks up the 85th coin for a different achievement. Nice. The challenge here is to win the race by only jumping 7 times. I would like this achievement description to be renamed if possible, as for ages, Matt tried to do this and could never make it to the next rope. But when we did a double jump each time, we do make it to the next rope. So we decided to give it a go, and after 7 double jumps, we popped the achievement. Picking up the token here gets us the achievement Token 2 for collecting 25 Pizza Planet tokens. By dropping off the 5 aliens with the mothership, we get the final token and the achievement Al's Spaceland. Matt jumps back in to take on the Buzz Lightyear buggy without taking any damage. This ended up being the easiest boss fight in the game to grab the achievement, but this next boss was one of the worst. Toy Barn Encounter. Here, I have to defeat a mothership. The mothership has a laser it can fire at us, and every time we attack it, it opens up capsules of enemies. We have to defeat those enemies before we can damage the mothership again. This fight in general is so annoying, but with the added 2 challenges we're about to do, it became a pain in the ass. First, let's just defeat it. I struggled a lot, from fighting UFOs to Zurg soldiers and trying to avoid the damn laser. It took some time, but the mothership is defeated, we pop the achievement and get a bonus cutscene. The toys have found a way into Al's bag with the fake Buzz Lightyear. We chase Al through the toy barn, but the automatic doors slam shut on Buzz. Using board games nearby, he opens up the doors, but doing this releases the evil Emperor Zurg, who follows behind Buzz. Back at the mothership, let's take on the first challenge. Defeat the mothership without shooting. All we have is the damn spin. The spin is so bad in this game. It has to be literally touching the enemy to even do damage, meaning most of the time you just get hit. The super spin is helpful, but then you end up getting dizzy, leaving you wide open for attacks. We slogged through this one, taking hits and losing lives, but we finally managed to get the achievement. And now it's time for the awful challenge. Toy Barn Encounter Challenge 1. Defeat the mothership using only the uncharged laser and without taking damage. The laser is no problem, as we have the targeting mode to shoot at the mothership, but not taking damage is insane, with the crazy bad camera and all kinds of enemies trying to attack us. The mothership itself is a pain, slowly coming towards you with the insane range its laser had made me rage over and over. After losing for the 7th time, Matt said he reckons he could do it, and I happily gave him the controller. I watched as he dodged every enemy and took on the mothership, unlocking the achievement on the first damn try. No, it's alright, it's fine. I warmed up Buzz so he was ready for that fight, so technically, I unlocked that achievement. This means we can move on to the next stage, and this one is my most hated stage in the game. Elevator Hop. The best way I can describe it is that it's a vertical level. We see the fake Buzz Lightyear and the toys enter the elevator, which brings me to my next question. Which Buzz are we currently playing as? Because during this level, we interact with the toys. So, are we the fake Buzz Lightyear, or are we the real Buzz Lightyear? Were we ever the real Buzz Lightyear? Maybe the real Buzz Lightyear is the Buzz Lightyears we met along the way.
In fact, you're a better Buzz than I am.
The first part of the level has us swing on some poles to grab Mr. Potato Head's missing foot, and we can see some fan shortcuts that we can activate later on. Dropping off his foot gives us the achievement Elevator Hop Upgrade for obtaining the grappling hook. Now with the grappling hook, we can traverse this massive level, heading through vents full of enemies and avoiding fire. We make it to the room and a challenge failed pops up. Activate the first vent shortcut in Elevator Hop within 2 minutes and 10 seconds of entering the level. Alright, let's reset and spam through to the shortcut. Now that we have the grappling hook, hitting the shortcut in enough time pops the achievement. Resetting the level again and swinging on the poles, we find a little mouse on the wall. There's a challenge connected to this mouse later on, but for now, we collect collect it, as in the shortcut room, we have the mother asking us to find the other 4 mice for her. In order to unlock the door to the elevator, we have to activate these switches. Matt told me to just hop on the right one and then the middle, and it popped an achievement. No idea how he remembered after all these years, but we take those. We collected the token and jumped into the elevator room. This is where the level really opens up. 2 huge elevators on each side going up and down. By looking around, we can find more mice and coins, but we also end up falling a lot. This is what the shortcut is used for. It allows us to fly all the way back up to the first room. By taking our time, we wait for the elevators to slowly take us up top. At the top is another mouse, coin, and the second shortcut, which now, if we fall all the way back down, we can use it to go all the way back up to the very top. On the other side is a mouse that makes us race against the next Pizza Planet token. Screw this part. The token is easy to race, but there are certain coins in this sliding section that are awful to collect. I won the race and grabbed the token. I spent absolutely ages picking up the rest of the coins until the only ones left were in the sliding section. For 25 minutes, I made my way up, started the slide, and missed the coins every damn time until I just threw the controller at Matt for him to collect them. I just couldn't lock in enough for the last 2, but luckily Matt grabbed them to get the achievement Elevator Hop coin. We got the token from Ham, headed all the way up top to take on this level's boss, Spider Gunroar. This boss was frustrating. We can spam the laser at the start, but then the spider flies towards us, shooting webs and flamethrowers, and of course, this is a damageless boss fight, meaning anytime we fail, we would have to restart the whole level, which gets rid of the shortcuts, meaning we have to manually travel all the way back up just to have another go. Before restarting the level, Matt grabs the final mouse and gets the token. He travels back up to defeat the boss for the first time and grabs the token and gets the achievement Elevator Hop for collecting all Pizza Planet tokens in this level. By restarting and pulling off this swing jump onto the side bits, we can activate a challenge achievement. Starting from the dry ground using only 1 electric pole, reach the mouse in the first room, and by grabbing it, we pop the achievement. Matt then grabs the super laser and gets all the way back up top and spams it at the start of the fight against the spider. Webs and flamethrowers fly towards him, and right at the end, I couldn't watch. I just listened out for the achievement sound and Matt's victory screech. Another damageless boss gets taken down. Let's go. Now, with the brand new grapple hook, Matt can head back to a previous level, Alleys and Gullies. He collects coins and ducks while exploring the level. With the rocket boots now unlocked, getting the 3rd duck doesn't require an insane game of Frogger. We grab an extra life above the water, and now is a brand new part of the game for Matt to play. He told me that he never returned to previous levels once getting the upgrades. So using the grapple hook here, he's now in a brand new part of the game that he's never played before, which I thought was pretty cool. Here, we have to climb up using the poles and the hook, getting a ton of coins. There was this frustrating zipline that caused us to fall quite a few times. Finally up top, we collect a duck and take on this level's boss, Clown Top. This boss isn't crazy hard, but for the challenge, it needs to be defeated by only spinning and taking no damage. Matt just about loses his rhythm on the final hit, so we'll have to come back to this challenge later on, but at least we got the token. Sliding down this zipline gets us the last extra life in this level for the achievement Alleys and Gullies Extra Life. Matt then collects the rest of the coins needed to unlock the coin achievement. Now, with all 5 ducks, we get the final token and achievement Alleys and Gullies. Heading back in, Matt takes on the Clown Top, taking no damage to grab the achievement Alleys and Gullies boss, finally wrapping up this level for good. Next, we head to Al's penthouse. Woody is enjoying his time with Jesse and Bullseye, but the toys think he's being tortured, so they use Rex's head to bash their way through into the next level. I get Worms World Party mixed with Red Dead Redemption from this music. Bullseye, who looks like he needs to take a shit, sends us on a task to grab 5 horseshoes for a token. We can see an extra life hidden in the fireplace, and then we start to explore. Whoa, what was that? There's just cannons around this entire level with insane aim. Right now, we have a challenge to complete. We need to find the little rabbit in the initial room of Al's penthouse without using the swinging poles. These bitches are slippery, meaning every time we jump on them, we would always fall off. Over and over again, we attempted this, passing the controller back and forth until Matt finally made it across, grabbing the rabbit and the achievement. We stomp on the red switch to destroy the first cannon. Let's head into the kitchen where we can hear a familiar voice. Holy shit, nah, that's Jessie from Breaking Bad. She's shaking like mad. Are we collecting critters or crystals for her? Jumping around on the shelves up top, we blow up the second cannon. We grab the critters in the corner and head into the train bedroom. We grab another critter and take on the next challenge. Get the token in the train room in Al's penthouse without toggling any of the railroad switches. After getting the train stuck on a cardboard box, we took a look around and headed into the other corner. From here, Buzz is able to jump over to the roof of the bed to grab the token and unlock the achievement We blow up the third cannon and take the cardboard box to the memorabilia room. Here, we can see all of the Woody merch while killing snakes and big ass vultures. We get the fourth critter, blow up another cannon, and take on an important boss fight, the Gunslinger. The Gunslinger walks towards us very slowly and fires 2 shots once in a while. Worst thing about this fight is the camera and the tiny ass area that we're in. We bring him to the other side of the arena so that the cannon can't fire at us. Unfortunately, the first time he manages to shoot us due to the camera. I charge up the laser a few times to beat his ass, blow up another cannon, and head back to the living room. Picking up the cosmic shield lets us grab the extra life in the fireplace, getting an achievement. The final room to explore is the bathroom, which we enter from the TV cupboard. Alright. We get Ham's token, absolutely flood Al's penthouse with water, and use the sponges to jump across, destroying the final cannon for a challenge achievement. We also grab the last coin needed for the coin achievement of this level. We pick up the final critter, return it back to Meth Jesse, which pops the achievement Al's penthouse for collecting all the Pizza Planet tokens in this level. We go back in to take on the Gunslinger and find a really good strategy to defeat him. Just run around him and spin. His shots will always miss, and it's easier than trying to aim the laser. The achievement pops, and this fight strategy will be super important later on. For now, let's head into the most frustrating boss fight and challenges of this entire set. It's time to take on Zurg. This gets ridiculous. Zurg appears on the elevator, and a fight between him and Buzz Lightyear instantly starts. I can't tell you the amount of times we have heard the start of this fight.
Zurg! Buzz Lightyear, your defeat will be my greatest triumph.
So Zurg can only be damaged by spinning. Any lasers will bounce right off him. His weapon shoots 2 kinds of shots, regular and homing. The regulars aren't too bad, as they usually get shot over Buzz's head. The only pain is when they bounce off the walls and hit us. Every time we hit Zurg, he will swap the shots to the homing attacks, which are the absolute worst to avoid. On top of all this, he is always floating around. Running towards him makes him float away, but turning away brings him down to us. After super spinning, trying to learn his movement, and losing a couple of lives, we finally defeat him for the first time. But now, we have 2 insanely annoying achievements to unlock. First up is a speed run. We have to defeat Zurg within 50 seconds or less. At first, we tried just rushing and spinning Zurg, but that always failed and ended up with us falling off the level. Over time, we managed to get a really good rhythm going. We run away, bring him down, turn to attack him before he flees, and repeat. Over and over again, we practiced this, still taking damage in the process. But then, we had a run that was perfect. We had finally learned how Zurg's movement works, after trying for about half an hour. And within 50 seconds, the speedrun achievement finally popped. But now, it's time for the difficult challenge. Defeat Zurg without taking damage. So far, every attempt has ended with us getting hit. His regular attacks bouncing and hitting us, and the damn homing shots always finding us. Life after life, me and Matt passed the controller, with our HP getting lower and lower. And then, something interesting happened. On one of my attempts, I managed to pause the game and quit, right on the frame of Buzz Lightyear dying. Heading back into the fight, and I realized I can't hit him, but he can't hit me. Somehow, we'd broken the game and Buzz Lightyear was now invincible. I just stood there and nothing could hit me. So, we tested what would happen by jumping off the edge. Buzz ended up in an infinite falling glitch. Somehow we always end up breaking these games, and this was insane to see. For the first time since we started today, we had to reset the game and load back in. After breaking the game, I let Matt take on the challenge. I watched as he had an insane attempt where Zurg was on red HP. I thought this had to be it. Zurg shot some homing shots and Matt panicked and just went for the hit, and he missed and fell. We were both absolutely gutted. These Zurg challenges have been no joke, but we can't give up here. After breaking the game, learning Zurg's movements and mastering Buzz Lightyear's super spin move to perfectly deflect the shots, Matt had an insane run where he hit Zurg over and over again, soft locking him from shooting, and with a final spin attack, the achievement was ours. These challenge achievements are always some of our favorites in the sets that we do. Sure, they can be frustrating, but after some practice, the satisfaction of that achievement popping is always worth it. Now, we can move on to the next level, Airport Infiltration. The toys have tracked Al down to an airport, where he plans to travel taking Woody, Jesse, Bullseye, and the Prospector with him. The gang is determined to save Woody, and enter into suitcase hell. It's here our next stage begins. Is that fucking Rocky Gibraltar?
And in this corner,
Rocky!
There's always trouble when he shows up. From now on, the game uses the same enemies from the last few stages. We see the gunmen and the vultures from the penthouse. Heading up, we have more tykes to find. This level has the most platforming of any level, climbing and bouncing off suitcases, riding zip lines, and running over conveyor belts. It's a challenge just to reach the top of the level. Further in, we bump into the man himself, Rocky Gibraltar, who tasks us with finding 5 weights and by collecting them within 28 seconds. We get the achievement Airport Infiltration Challenge 2. By pushing the wheels, we can climb up on top of the broken airplane, which turns into a climbing challenge. And up top is our final missable achievement. Get the token on the broken airplane in Airport Infiltration before obtaining the hover boots. At the very top is the boxed upgrade, and this is why it's missable. We have to use the height from the box to make it up top. Without the box, we would be absolutely screwed, and we would have to do an entire second playthrough just to grab this token and the achievement. We now have Mr. Potato Head's mouth, and on the way back down, Matt grabs the 3rd tyke by falling perfectly in front of it, and he gets the 4th one by jumping over. Now, we can safely grab the hover boots from Mr. Potato Head to grab the achievement Airport Infiltration upgrade. Now using the hover boots, we can make it up these stacked suitcases, and at the top waits the Prospector boss fight. The Prospector walks very slowly, but when it comes to attacking, he's insane. Matt tried taking him out by just stomping for a challenge achievement, but ended up getting hit in the process. So for now, we took him out and grabbed the token. Heading further up, we find the final tyke, collect the 70th coin for an achievement, and drop the tykes off and grab another token from Ham in order to get Airport Infiltration. We'll come back to this level very soon. We have to make a quick stop by Andy's room to farm a few extra lives from the crib, and then we head back into Al's toy barn. We still have some achievements to unlock here, and with all the upgrades now available, we can finally wrap it up. By using the skateboard again and following the trail, there is now a token in the egg instead of a chick. Using the hover boots leads to a bunch of coins and another chick that we couldn't collect last time. The challenge achievement here led to a frustrating moment. By making it through this section of the level without getting hit, we will earn another challenge achievement. I make it past the basketballs and tennis balls being thrown towards me, collect the 4th chick, and fly over on the skateboard. While moving a box, I just miss getting hit by a hula hoop, which is now locked onto the box. It's going to be annoying if I have to reset the level here after about 10 minutes of playing. So I run ahead to make sure the rest of the path is cleared, and then I come across a box of toy planes. And here is a super flaccid moment. I take out 2 of the planes, but while avoiding the 3rd in order to not take any damage, unfortunately, I was way too late to grab the 2 coins that had dropped. Why is this a problem? Well, this level only has 71 coins available, and we needed 70 for the achievement, so losing those 2 coins means I'll have to restart at some point. Frustrated, I head back and manage to push the box without the hoop hitting me. Pushing the final box, I make it to the last vent, grabbing the 5th chick, and in the vent, I almost get lasered by a damn UFO. Could you imagine I made it all this way and that happened? But I managed to shoot it down and pop the achievement. By dropping off the chicks back to their mama, we get the final token for the achievement Al's Toy Barn. Now, I've got to head back into the friggin' level to collect everything all over again. While here, let's take on the boss challenge. I collect 30 discs for the launcher and head into the arena. As long as I avoid the toxic waste, this boss is no problem. And by not running out of discs while defeating the dinosaur, we get the achievement Al's Toy Barn Boss. While spending another 15 damn minutes collecting all the coins I need, I come across the extra life in the level needed for the achievement Al's Toy Barn Extra Life. And we find the last coin chilling over by Rex to wrap up Al's Toy Barn. Back at Airport Infiltration, Matt has a challenge to do. Find the little passenger at the highest point on the map in Airport Infiltration within 2 minutes and 5 seconds of entering the level. Matt practiced the run a couple of times. This was one of the only times the achievements didn't track the timer. But by the end, I watched as he rushed and climbed all the way up without falling, and he reached the little passenger. I had to check the footage, and Matt made this in 1 minute and 48 seconds. All that's left on this level is the damageless Prospector fight. Oh yeah, we're not allowed to shoot or spin. This is why Matt was trying to get a stomping rhythm going earlier on. But the Prospector was just mad fast. Any single hit would force us to restart the whole level and hover back up in order to have another try. The fight itself took about 5 minutes, so the patience was definitely needed. And the last stomp popped the achievement Airport Infiltration Boss. Next is Tarmac Trouble. Jessie gets stuck in a suitcase, so now it's up to Buzz, Woody, and Bullseye to save her. This level takes place on a whole ass runway. I'm not joking when I say this level is huge. Luckily, the rocket boots are going to be super helpful to make it around the massive level. Now, this one has one of the worst achievements we have ever done. Not because of difficulty, but just because of how shit it was. The first time we get to this colour puzzle isn't too bad. We just have to match the bottom lights to the top lights by using the switches. Each switch is connected to 2 of the lights, and we will always turn one off and one on. The first time we complete this gets us the Pizza Planet token, and we'll be returning for the awful achievement very soon. In this level we have 5 pieces of luggage to find. Heading to the centre of the runway and following the plane, we can find a ton of coins. In the centre is a pathway that leads us to Slinky. Slinky wants us to follow the path without jumping and touching the green slime. By getting Slinky's token in Tarmac Trouble with 15 seconds or more left on the clock, we pop the achievement. Now it's time to get on the plane. By climbing up and jumping over, we can land on it. In the middle is a piece of luggage, and by using the plane, we can reach brand new areas, like this part that has another piece of luggage and an extra life. In Sector 7, we collect the last few coins for the achievement, and here we can take on the boss of this level, the Blacksmith. The Blacksmith is a tank. Bro's actually worthy of holding Thor's hammer. He slams the ground and sends a shockwave that homes in on us, so right away I get damaged. Finishing up the fight normally gets us the token. I drop off the coins to Ham for another one and take the plane to find the 4th piece of luggage. Climbing the car near Rex gets us the final piece of luggage, and by dropping it off we get 2 achievements. Tarmac Trouble for collecting all Pizza Planet tokens in this level, and Token 3 for collecting every Pizza Planet token. Heading back in, we have a quick challenge. By jumping up this section without using the plane, we grab the extra life for a challenge achievement. Back at the Blacksmith, we have to take him on without taking any damage. And this is another important boss fight for us to learn, and you will find out why very soon. After a couple of restarts, I figured out the length that I need to run away before jumping over the shockwave, avoiding it, and hopefully landing a spin hit on the Blacksmith. Locking in, we end up getting the achievement Tarmac Trouble Boss. Right, back to the worst achievement we have ever done. Tarmac Trouble Challenge 3. Solve all types of light puzzles in Tarmac Trouble in a single session by re-entering the level after each solution. There's just no need for this. In total, there's about 11 different puzzles to solve. The puzzles are not hard to work out, but the thing that makes this challenge annoying is something that me and Matt have come to despise over our time with retro achievements. RNG achievements. Because you could spend 5 minutes doing this, or a whole ass hour, depending on if the game wants to give you the puzzle that you need. Luckily, Matt had found this helpful spreadsheet from the comment section on the achievement, but it doesn't mean it's still not a pain. If you get a puzzle you have already completed, you can just stomp the same button twice to reset, and the amount of times we got the exact same puzzle popping up was crazy. After about 20 minutes of doing this, and retro achievements randomly going down for another 15 minutes, our last puzzle finally popped up, which was puzzle 2, getting us the achievement. And here we are, the final level of this game and the final boss fight, with 3 achievements to grab. I'll let you guys watch the intro to this boss fight just to listen to Jesse spitting all over the place.
Howdy, Space Ranger!
Get 'em, boys!
Yep, this is 3 bosses at the same time. The Gunslinger, Prospector, and Blacksmith. But the real enemy here is the camera. Look at this shit. Why are we on a plane mid-takeoff during this fight? They start to walk towards you so slowly and menacingly. At first, I was getting my ass beaten. How did they expect us to fight this? 3 at the same time is too much for anyone. I just hoped and prayed and ran in there, spinning them all, taking tons of damage. And on my first try at the boss fight, I knocked them all out to unlock the achievement Prospector Showdown. But don't worry, the next 2 achievements were an absolute pain. As the camera zooms in on Jeff Keighley, we see the toys kill the Prospector, and a Game 1 screen appears with the credits. Let's jump back in. The next challenge is to defeat the bosses in Prospector Showdown without shooting and without dying. Last time I died twice, so it's time to figure out a new strategy. And our strategy was to run away. By running, we can manipulate the Gunslinger to follow us, leaving the other 2 behind as long as we don't get them back on the screen. But the not taking damage was insane. With only being allowed to spin, sometimes you just bump into them and you have to restart. Once the Gunslinger is dead, we wait for Stinky Pete and his fat ass to walk over.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Last time we had zero room to fight him, but now we can circle around to avoid the hits and spin his ass to death. The blacksmith fight requires a lot of patience, as it's the final part of the fight. To do this without dying is pretty simple, and we earn the achievement. But now it's time for the damageless run. All the practice of these bosses from the past levels comes into play. We have the strategies, now it's time to perfect them. My first fight glitched out, and all three just came right up to me, causing me to get hit. Having to deal with the damn camera and listening to Jesse in the intro over and over was so annoying.
Howdy, Space Ranger!
Fun fact, this entire playthrough was done in one entire day. It had taken me and Matt 12 hours to reach this point, taking on crazy stages, insane challenges and boss fights, collecting everything, and even breaking the game had all led to this, where I defeated the gunslinger while avoiding hits from the Prospector. I ran up and took his ass down, one left to go. I held my breath and locked in, as one single hit would mean a restart, and by avoiding every single hit from the blacksmith, I ran up, spun him to pop the achievement Prospector Showdown Challenge 1. And with that, we have mastered Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue for the PlayStation 1. You can check out more Retro Achievement playthroughs on the screen right now. Thank you for watching.